I want to ask you a question. Did you know Ben Rich?
No, but I talked to people who did. Now, I'll tell you what Ben Rich had to do with this. First of all, do you know where he was born? Ben Rich was one of the most the biggest Mossad spy in the United States. I mean, he got the most classified information. Here's what happened. Here's how we got messed up with Israel. In 1947, when Israel became a state, Jim, I keep saying Anslinger. It's not Anslinger. James Angleton was chief of CIA in Rome. Okay. They sent Angleton down to Tel Aviv along with some guys at MI6 to form Mossad. And for some reason, however it happened, James Angleton got allied with Mossad like this forever. He was the mole. If you remember, in 1960, he was the head CIA director of foreign intelligence, and he was the guy that always was looking for the Russian mole. He was the Russian mole because, you know, he was so friends with Mossad, he'd tell Mossad stuff and Mossad would pass it on to Russia. So when David Ben-Gurion in the summer of 1963 said, you know, we have to kill Kennedy. We have to. I'm tired of you threatening us with inspecting Dimona. It's none of his friggin' business. I don't want to hear any more from Kennedy. You kill him. He gave that order to Mossad, and then resigned so that he couldn't be held responsible for it. Mossad then went to Angleton. The Kennedy assassination was not a CIA job, but it was greased by the CIA only because Angleton was in there with his buddies at Mossad. And he's the one that greased the skids for everything that happened in Dealey Plaza and the escape and everything. They were Corsican sharpshooters there, hired by Mossad. They pulled off the whole thing, and everybody says, well, you know, they think the mob killed Kennedy, or maybe Johnson did, or Castro. It wasn't. It was Israel, and the reason they did is because David Ben-Gurion didn't want any more inspections of Dimona, and that's all.
And that's their nuclear. It's where they do their nuclear.
That's where they got their nuclear bombs with plutonium they stole from us, and other.
But what's Ben Rich got to do with that?
Okay, so Ben Rich was born with a very wealthy Jewish family in the Philippines, and very highly educated, and he was slipped into Lockheed in 1953 as Kelly Johnson's second in charge. And he was there for the development of the U-2, and he was there for the development of stealth.
You know, there are a lot of Ben Rich famous kind of UFO quotes that kind of allude to things that technology, right?
Right.
Yeah, there's nothing of that in that book. That book's the inside story, the development of the U-2.
I understand.
And the SR-71.
But he did say, he said, what's the exact quote? You probably remember it.
We have stuff that would make George Lucas jealous. We could take E.T. home.
Yeah. Yeah, so I mean, he was an insider from way back, is what you're telling me. Right?
Yeah, but he was a Mossad spy, and I'm going to tell you how they did it. Okay, now,
But on some level, if he's a Mossad spy, because the Mossad seems to be in cahoots with, if you want to call them, you know, the NASA Nazi group.
I'm glad you understand that, because when people say, did Israel have anything to do with 9/11, I said, as much as Santa Claus had to do with Christmas. So anyway.
So yeah, they're all working together. If you're telling me Angleton was involved with Mossad, you're telling me Ben Rich is involved with Mossad. You know, we've got the whole. There's a whole alignment there.
Absolutely, positively, beyond a shadow of a doubt. So now we get ready to build the stealth fighter, and this was the beginning of the real secret stuff that went on within our government. The Navy.